actually going to be down here with the cell doors itself. So if you can find a spot where you can see the doors, you have found a very good spot.
So I realize that people believe religions go out to the rest. Like, sometimes I'm reading they only had Alcatraz just once a month. Other times I'm hearing that they have them daily. So
It shifted over time. At the very beginning, they had less free time outside of their cells. Towards the end, those restrictions were eased a bit. That's where the discrepancies come from and things like that, generally. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody out there doing tonight? Oh, I think we can do a little bit better than that. Let's try that one more time. How are you guys doing? There we go. Let's get a little enthusiasm going here. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the National Park Service, on behalf of the Golden Gate National Parks Conservancy, my name is Paul, and I want to welcome you all to the sound of the slammer. Now, before I start moving these doors, I actually have a question for the crowd tonight. Do I have any coffee addicts down there? And I'll go ahead, I'll raise my hand first. I'll break this ice for you. Go ahead, let's see those hands. Come on, I know there's a few more of you out there. It's a pretty common vice here in the United States. All right, why am I asking about coffee? It's all about routine. Now, for me, I honestly believe that my day should not be allowed to officially start until I've had coffee. I'm just not myself until I've had that first sip of that dark, rich brew first thing in the morning. And for a very long time, I honestly believed that that was when my day started, with that first sip. Turns out I was wrong. My day actually starts a few minutes earlier than that, and it begins, as so many people's day do, with a sound. Now for me, that sound is the sound that my coffee maker makes right before it's finished. It's kind of a gurgling, hissing noise. I hear that, my eyes light up. Everything seems to be more vibrant, more colorful, more alive. That sound lets me know that my day has begun. And inmates confined here on Alcatraz, well, they also had a noise that let them know their day had begun. This noise. A little bit different from a coffee pot. In fact, right here is where that entire analogy breaks down. Because while I hear my sound, that coffee pot noise, once, maybe twice a day, maybe 3 times if it was a long night the night before, inmates confined on Alcatraz hear their sound over and over again. Every part of an inmate's day is punctuated by one loud, penetrating noise. This noise. An inmate wakes up in the morning. Before they are allowed to march through that door and have breakfast, they're going to hear this sound. They go into the dining hall. They eat their meal. If they're lucky enough to have a job assignment, they'll be coming right back in here, and before they're able to get changed and head down there, you go to work. It's time to come back for lunch. Over. And over. And over again. Every part of their day punctuated by this sound. This one noise. A very well-designed noise. Very good at getting a very specific message across. Anybody want to take a guess exactly what it was the Bureau of Prisons was trying to tell inmates by making them listen to that sound over and over again? One word. That's all I'm looking for. Control. There it is, right there. Control. Very good. That sound sends a very specific message. And the message the Bureau of Prisons designed with that sound was this: you are not in control. For whatever reason, we have had to take that control away. And you will not get that control back until you prove that you can handle that kind of responsibility. Let's go ahead and hear it again. Listen for that word that the Bureau of Prisons wanted you to hear. It's very effective. In fact, this sound is so effective, I am willing to bet that 90% of you have heard the sound that these doors make before you ever even thought about coming to this island. Not just any doors, these doors specifically. We're going to do this with a show of hands. How many of you down there have seen a small little film called Jurassic Park? Let's see that show of hands. You have heard the sound of these doors being operated. Alright, I bet I can get one even more of you have seen. How about The Empire Strikes Back? Let's see that show of hands. Yeah, exactly. This sound is so effective that Hollywood has used it over and over again. The guys at Industrial Light and Magic actually came out and recorded these doors so that they could sample them in as special effects in all kinds of movies and television. Because they're just that good. They are that well designed. And when I say designed, that noise, I mean that very, very literally. We're going to run the doors again for you right now. Now, those of you standing right here, you are actually in a very good spot. Look right ahead of you, and you should see one of these that is transparent. Yeah, it's right there. Excellent. That is our display mechanism. It shows you the actual physical device that causes these doors to open and close. Now, if you look at it quite closely, one of the things you're likely to notice is a whole lot of empty space. That box is much larger than it actually has to be to do the job of protecting the mechanism that opens the doors. And that's intentional. These doors were designed for Alcatraz. This is the first prison in the world to get this remotely controlled cell door mechanism. Of course, they are in prisons all over the world today because the Stewart Iron Works company who designed them for us, well, now they had a great sales pitch. If it's good enough for Alcatraz, it's certainly good enough for the county drunk tank. So what's the purpose behind this oversized box? Well, here's the thing. A few years back, we had these doors refurbished. And in order to do that, the company had to take all of these boxes off so that they could get to the mechanism inside. Being the curious bunch that we are, when they did that, we decided to see what would happen if we ran the doors without them. Turns out that these doors run just fine without these boxes. Just fine and almost completely silently. This large metal box, it acts as an amplifier for the sounds happening behind it. The Bureau of Prisons wanted inmates to get that message. Now, in a moment, I will slam these doors shut for the last time tonight. When I do that, you guys will march through this door here into the dining hall. You'll head down the stairs. If you've still got an audio tour, if you're finished with that, you can turn it in there. But otherwise, you'll keep heading down that road. You'll get down to the boat, and we'll all climb on board and head back to the mainland. If at some point tonight you have a free moment, just a quiet moment to yourself, stop and think about what it would have meant if you were an inmate on Alcatraz, hearing these doors slam shut for the last time on any given night. Ladies and gentlemen, once again on behalf of the National Park Service, on behalf of the Golden Gate National Parks Conservancy, my name is Paul, and this has been the sound of the slammer.